Clint Eastwood, a name synonymous with cinematic excellence. From the rugged landscapes of spaghetti westerns to the director's chair of Oscar-winning dramas, Eastwood's journey through Hollywood is unparalleled. But recently, headlines buzzed with claims of a candid interview where Eastwood allegedly criticized modern Hollywood. The catch? He never said those words. Today, we uncover the truth behind the viral interview and explore why Eastwood's voice still resonates in the film industry. Stay with us, because what you're about to hear may change how you see Hollywood forever. Clint Eastwood didn't just walk into stardom, he earned it. Born in 1930 during the Great Depression, he grew up with grit, resilience, and a desire to stand apart. His breakthrough role in the TV Western Rawhide was just the beginning. It was the Dollars trilogy, filmed in Italy, that made him an international sensation. With minimal dialogue and maximum presence, Eastwood became the face of stoic masculinity. As he transitioned into directing, he proved his talents weren't confined to acting alone. Films like Unforgiven, $1 Million Baby, and Gran Torino showcased his nuanced approach to storytelling. He was never just a cowboy, he was a visionary, and that vision has shaped generations of filmmakers. When Eastwood speaks, people don't just listen, they take notes. The media exploded with headlines. Clint Eastwood slams Hollywood, they said. Social media ran wild with quotes supposedly from the director himself. But just days later, Eastwood's publicist issued a sharp rebuke. The interview was fake. It had been published by the Austrian outlet Courier, which has since launched an internal investigation. Eastwood hadn't spoken to them, or any media outlet, about Hollywood's current state. And yet, the quotes went viral, fueled by a public eager for controversy. It wasn't just misinformation, it was character theft. This wasn't the first time a star had been misrepresented, but in Eastwood's case, it struck a nerve. Why? Because his real opinions carry weight. So what does Clint Eastwood actually think about Hollywood today? While he's notoriously private, Eastwood has shared his thoughts over the years. He's voiced concern about the industry's obsession with sequels and blockbusters. He once said, "It's all about the weekend box office now." That wasn't always the case. Eastwood is a filmmaker who values depth, subtlety, and character over spectacle. Films like Letters from Iwo Jima and Changeling prove his dedication to complex storytelling. He believes audiences crave stories that make them think, not just CGI explosions, and he's never shied away from telling hard truths. So while he didn't say those viral quotes, the spirit of them wasn't entirely off-brand. The problem is, they weren't his, and that makes all the difference. In 2024, Eastwood returned with what might be his final film, Juror Number 2, a legal drama filled with moral tension. It told the story of a juror who realizes he's accidentally responsible for the crime he's meant to judge. Critics praised the film for its tight pacing and emotional depth. But Warner Bros. Made a shocking decision. The movie would skip a wide theatrical release and go straight to streaming. For a legend like Eastwood, it felt like a snub. Fans and fellow filmmakers were outraged. It raised questions about how studios now value streaming metrics over legacy. Eastwood didn't publicly complain, but many believe Juror Number 2 deserved better, and its quiet rollout may say more about modern Hollywood than any interview ever could. At 95, Clint Eastwood isn't chasing fame. He's reflecting on a life well lived. A father to 8 children, a former mayor, and a filmmaker with over 50 directing credits, Eastwood has earned his place as a legend. He still lives in Carmel by the Sea, where he served as mayor in the 1980s. He rides horses, composes music, and spends time with his grandchildren. His life isn't just about the spotlight. It's about legacy, and part of that legacy is integrity. That's why false stories hit hard. Eastwood represents a bygone era, an era where your word mattered. And even in silence, he commands the screen like no one else. Clint Eastwood isn't just part of Hollywood's history, he helped build it. Over decades, he worked with rising talents, nurtured careers, and backed scripts others wouldn't touch. Directors like Catherine Bigelow and actors like Hilary Swank owe parts of their success to Eastwood's trust in new voices. He believed in letting talent speak for itself. In an era of studio micromanagement, Clint often shot films on time and under budget. That kind of discipline is rare today. He led with confidence, and in doing so, earned the loyalty of his crews. When he speaks, it's not nostalgia, it's earned wisdom. And that wisdom comes from building something few could replicate. There's power in what Clint Eastwood doesn't say. In an age where everyone is shouting online, Eastwood chooses silence. He lets the work speak, and when he finally addresses a topic, it lands like thunder. The false interview went viral because people assumed it sounded like him. But what does that say about our expectations? Maybe we long for voices with clarity and conviction. Maybe we crave authenticity in an age of noise. And maybe that's why Clint's name still makes headlines even when he doesn't say a word. Clint Eastwood's silence speaks louder than most people's headlines. In an age of viral soundbites and manufactured outrage, his real legacy lies in the work he's created, the values he's upheld, and the audiences he's moved. The false interview may have grabbed attention, but the truth is far more powerful. Eastwood has always let his films do the talking, and as long as people keep watching, his voice will never be lost. So before you believe the next headline, ask yourself this. What would Clint Eastwood actually say? The answer isn't in fake quotes. It's in the stories he's told for over 60 years. And those stories, they'll outlast all of us.